Hello, it's the Runny Duck and welcome back for another video. This time I have 3 replays featuring the Tier 10 Czech medium tank, the TVP T50/51. Now, this tank is on track at the moment, hence the video, and it's also received a buff to the gun. Now, the gun is not quite back to how good it was on the original gun on launch, but it is, it has had a decent buff to the gun. The reloads, it's been decreased from 28 to 26.5, as well as the interclip is now being decreased, so it's got 1.5 second interclip, which makes a massive difference with the tank. And also something which I haven't done in this video yet, it's got the ammo capacity increased from 48 to 64, so I do actually need to increase the ammo. That's something I haven't actually done. But yeah, let's just, we should see what we've got. We've got on the Sand River on the first game with 2 fun police and enemy team. But you can see here the difference for me able to get my shots out on, this tank a lot quicker now. A lot more like the machine. Because this tank kind of got when it came out, this tank was really good. And then now there's so many other tanks in the game, noticeably the machine, which this tank got a nerf, and it was unjust really. As soon as the machine came out, it was like, what is the actual point of this tank anymore? And the machine's just better than it in every single way. But now it's got the buff to the gun. I'm not going to say it's not as good as how it used to be. However, it has made a big difference. It is a lot more enjoyable to play. For at least for me anyway, I've been quite enjoying playing it. So we're on Sand River here. I went to the usual spot from this spawn, got a little bit of damage out, a little bit of resistance. But now that heavy tank's kind of pushed up, and I'm a bit concerned, if I'm honest, about getting shut down by the 2 fun police, because obviously if they slap me, it's not going to end well. And a lot of my team is just stuck in the base. So I was going to try and do something else and see if we can just relocate, because it does have decent mobility of 60 kilometers an hour. And yeah, try and see what we can do on the other side. This M60 has just thrown his tank out. We managed to take out a tier 10 tank out of the game, which is a big help. And it looks like we're about to take out another medium tank on that northern flank. So I've decided that at the moment I'm just trying to dodge shots while I get my reload off. And I'm going to do something a little bit risky. My team is kind of stuck in the riverbed, not really progressing with that 1 heavy tank. So I decided I'm going to take a gamble and see if I can come behind him, because I know this M46 is clippable to me. This is risky, I'm not going to lie. I snapshot my first shot in and missed. I shouldn't have really snapshot that one in, but it's not a problem. We had enough rounds left to take him out anyway. And we do, and now we're going to go on a reload so we can try and get behind this heavy tank, which our team seem to be struggling to deal with. I think it's really because the enemy, has got TDs in their base, which is covering them, so it's hard for my friendly team to poke out on this heavy tank. So I'm going to see if I can do anything about that to try and get rid of this tank, so our team can progress with the game, and we can start to move on. So I'm looking to see if I can get some clips where he's not looking at me. We get one in. Unfortunately, that one misses, but we just wanted to make sure we get our last clip into the tank. We do manage to do that. We didn't get a very fortunate ricochet for that T28 proc. Basically, we just happened to get an auto ricochet angle, and now we're just trying to get out of dodge, while we're reloading. See if we can just try and spot this TD. Maybe we try and turn him so our team can get shots in. But then I've noticed that I'm getting pushed by this heavy tank. It's a 3-shot autoloader, so I want to try and get out of the way and try and get back into cover. But as I turned around to have a look, I kind of do a bit of crazy, awful driving. And I snapped one of my shots, which I just really shouldn't have done, because he's now unloaded anyway. I got hit by 2 of the shots, and if I'd have kept the other shots, which I didn't snapshot it, I would have been able to take that heavy tank out there in that clip. But now I haven't, and it looks like this SU is now trying to drop on me. So yeah, this is not great for me, but fortunately it's ignoring me, and he's going for this medium tank, mainly because I'm on the reload. So we're going to get time to get our reload in. We're going to try and take out the heavy, which we do, and then we're going to try and finish off this SU with the rest of our clips. We do manage to do, putting us on to about 5,000 damage, 2,500 assistance. Just now looking, for the reload before we go for that T95. I just spotted that I got lit by the artillery. Thankfully, I just managed to get out of the way, otherwise it would have ruined my day there and ended that game. And now we just know what's left. We've got this T95 and this heavy tank, which has been alive the whole game in that position. So we're going to see if we can try and finish him off. But it looks like our team's gone under him, so I just try to get out or dodge that T95. I can't quite poke without getting shot. But the T95 has now fired, and now this is my chance to try and close the distance from the T95. Knowing that he's on a reload. I want to get close to see, cause he's obviously got a turretless TD, so I can get behind him. I'm going to be able to take him out, no problem. And I've got into the side, so hopefully I can get my clip out. I think that tracks him in place, enough time for me to get my 3 shots in, finish him off, putting us close to 6,000 damage. And that's for my 5th kill of the game. And it's just the enemy fun police left now, which is trying to have a look where he is. He's spotted, he's looking like he's going for the shotgun, panicking a little bit. Hopefully we just get in cover, and now we're just seeing if are we going to be able to get the kill before our friendly light tank gets it, and we do just get the reload in to pick up our top gun, bringing us to an end to the first replay of the video. So what's left to do is get to that scoreboard, and let's see how we got on. We got 6 kills, 6,000 damage, 3,000 assistance, picked up the ace tanker, high caliber, and the top gun. So that's it for the first replay of the video. We've got 2 more to come, so stay with us and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so thanks for staying with us. Here we are for the second part of the replay. This time we're on the new map, Halfaya Pass, which is essentially Scorpion Pass, which has been remade. And if I'm honest, I'm not a fan of this map. It's got the same problem as when we had the Cold War maps in World War II mode, and it's just too big. It's actually bigger than some of the Cold War maps. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan. I find a lot of the map you don't even use. To be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of Scorpion Pass either, but at least Scorpion Pass wasn't too bad. This map just seems unnecessarily big. For World War II. Obviously, I don't play Cold War, and maybe it's completely different on that map, so I can't speak for that. But on World War II mode, I'm not a massive fan. Yeah, I've not played it a lot, to be honest, because it doesn't seem to have come in rotation that much. Thankfully for me. But yeah, I mean, let me know your opinions on the map, because obviously you might have a completely different opinion to me, and also it'd be interesting to hear your opinions. But what I'm going to do is 3 fun police in the game. I'm going to go to a position on this particular spawn, which is a position I used to like to use on Scorpion Pass. It's slightly different now, but on this variant it still can work. And that is, I can get basically from this middle, I'm pretty much in the centre of the map, and I can get nice and I can get early shots on here when people get caught out in the open, as you can see I've done in this pattern. We actually bounced a shot and got a full clip and set them on fire, so that was a really nice result. And from this location we've got crossfire shots to the right and on the left. If stuff does get spotted up on the left of the map on that big open area, which you can see like whole of our team spawn this side, and then you've got this humongous map. But sometimes you can have TDs come around the left, and I have shots on that side as well. But at the moment I'm just going to utilise this position, because while things are, while the enemy teams engage, and there's not a lot, they're not really expecting to get shots come from where I am, because there's, no one's lit. I take my time. I've now got 2 full clips into the game, got 1 into that TD. Pull behind this rock for cover. That's why we're getting on a reload. Usually while I'm reloading in tanks like this, I'm making use, I'm relocating to different locations, etc. But at the moment, I've got no real need to do that, because targets do keep presenting themselves to me, and I'm just going to use this opportunity to just get shots in while they're engaging our team. And now I've just spotted this TD on the mini-map to our left, which I don't quite notice in the game at the moment. But no, yeah, I have just quite picked up on there. And yeah, you see the TDs across the side and the other map, like this Death Star. He's now caught in the open to us, and again we've got another shot. Unfortunately, we bounced the first shot, but we get our last 3 in, picking up another 800 damage or so. And I can sort of just pull back behind these rocks to give myself cover. Because if I do get lit, obviously I've got to be careful, but I can be, get shot from both sides as well. And that's just something you have to just, keep note of, really. This S-Barnes gets caught on out. I'm trying to go for his track wheel here, because I want to track him in place. We do manage to track him in place, and again we pen all 4 shots, putting us up to just shy, just above shy of 5,000 damage there. So not bad start of the game, considering we've all done that just in this one location. Really, we've got 5,000 damage from this one spot, and I haven't really moved about. But it's just kind of how the game was flowing for me and where the shots were. So it's just kind of worked out that way. It is still pretty even though. I'm just at the moment I'm in 2 minds. One mind I'm thinking, do I go and get a bit closer, see if I can get shots into those heavy tanks which are engaged in our friendly team. But also I'm like, I don't want to miss an opportunity if like that S-Bahn comes out in the open again. I can obviously finish the clip off and help my team on the left. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle of 2 things now. This Type 5 gets spotted out in the open, so he's probably spent most of the game fighting no one. Obviously chose the wrong way to go, and he's just pushing down the open because he's on full health, and that's probably the first time he's actually been detected. So I've got to be careful of that, of course, because at least I know that the Type 5 Heavy is making his way around. We get this G-Saw, we track him in place, he repairs, we track him in again. Really unfortunate for him, but great for me. We managed to take out the light tank, which obviously in these big maps like this could be really crucial end game. Putting us on to just shy of 6,000 damage. And now I was going to make my way over to see if I can help my heavies over the right. But also I'm thinking, I wonder if this Type 5 is actually, it must be getting pretty close now, right? So I'm hoping that I may be able to ambush this Type 5, get behind him, maybe get my clip off. I'm going to struggle to penetrate him front on with the APCR because it is only 248 penetration, which is quite low for a tier 10 tank. So it probably is one of its weaknesses, with that low penetration. And the heat shells, I think they've got 310 pen, so they're not brilliant, but I don't really like to fire the heat shells in this tank if I can help it, because obviously you've got that quick shell velocity, and you're often getting like side and flank shots into the team. But yeah, at this point I'm thinking if my team lose on the left, I'm still in a good position here to get shots as they cross towards their base, and I have literally spent the whole game in this position, but it's just how it worked out really. We do spot this Type 5, we do manage to get one in while we're side on. Putting him, he's on about 1,000 hit points. We're swapping to their heat shells because if we have to fight the Type 5 frontally, we are going to need, I'm not going to penetrate it with the APCR front on. Definitely not reliably. I obviously tried a weak, because Cupola maybe, but very, very unlikely. So I'm going to need the heat shells. As that Death Star and S-Bahn's now dead, I'm going to try and make a play and get behind this Type 5. Annoyingly for me, I get lit by that light tank, which is going to alert the Type 5 to my position, and I poke, and unfortunately he slaps one in, taking away majority of my hit points with the HE. We just leave him on the slimmest of hit points, and thankfully for me, our E100 takes him out before he's able to finish me off. And that puts us on to about 7,000 damage, 1,500 assistance, and it's just the two little piggies to go for now. We're reloading our APCR rounds, and we're going to see if we can hunt them down and find where they are. This is a stage where I was in like a really slow tank like the Mouse, but this would be painful, to try to get across the map. But thankfully, the TVP is fairly quick. I've got like 60 kilometers an hour, sort of max speed. So yeah, I'm able to sort of cover the distance. It's a lot less painful anyway. And at least I've got a chance of trying to get to these fun police. I'm going to have a guess that they might be sort of making their way up this hill, just because where our friendly team's positions are. They've not spotted them yet. So I'm hoping I'm going to get a chance to get there, because it would be nice to get a little bit more damage into this game. Almost 7,000. It'd be nice if we could get to about 8,000. We found both the piggies. But yeah, we've got to find them first. We do manage to find one of them. We get one shot in, which is nice, leaving it on a one shot. We're trying to close the distance now, but I obviously don't want to get shotgunned by this guy, so I'm trying to get behind this ridge. I was going to see if I could lose my spot and then change the direction, because he's obviously going to be waiting to shotgun us, but he then gets shot down by a T92 anyway. and the other fun police then gets taken out, brings an end to this game. Let's see how we got on. So we picked up 7,500 damage, 1,600 assistance. Despite getting more damage in our first game, which was an ace tanker, because we only got the 1 kill. It was only a first class, but it's not often I get to play on this map, so I definitely wanted to at least show you a replay on this map. And that's it for this one, but we've got one final replay to come. Okay, so here we are for the final replay of the video, or Nom, or whatever it's called. It's Encounter Battle, and we have no fun police in the game, so that's always nice, especially when you're in something like a TVP with no armour. You don't want to be getting splashed by those fun police, so that's always useful. So the first thing I'm going to do is just poke up nice and early on this ridge line, just to see if we can spot any of their aggressive lights at the start of the game. Potentially get a few shots and of early damage, and there we go. Sort of to be expected, the lights are sort of full sending in the middle, so we're going to try and get a few shots in. Managed to get one into this AMX 1390, we get the second one in, and then I kind of predicted that all wrong, and we only managed to get 2 out of the 4, but at least we picked us, got a little bit of damage at the start of the game, and now we're just going to try and get our reload off and just see if we can keep while I'm reloading. If I can, I'd like to spot them, but also I don't want to overextend myself on this ridge because I've been lit there now, so if there's camping TDs etc, they're going to be looking for shots on those ridge lines, so I need to try not to be too predictable, or I'm going to get myself into all sorts of bother. I don't want to get slapped and lose all my hit points, especially when the game is only just begun. And now I'm thinking about going down the 1 line, because you see these mediums pushing down the 1 line at like the 1J sort of 1-2. I don't really want them there, because it's basically taking away the map control from us and getting us sort of stuck in this one location, which is just not what you want. You don't want to be surrounded. You want to have space. The more map control you gain, the easier the game's going to be for you. So I want to try and take care of them. So I was thinking about going over and dumping a clip in, but then I kind of thought better of it, because I was going in by myself, and obviously I don't have any armour, and they're going to be hulled down, and it's going to be really awkward. So I do really want them to take them out, but I also need support. But now it looks like the 2 heavy tanks, this machine, these heavy tanks by right, are actually moving in onto that location. So I'm thinking, right, at this point, if they're going in, I don't really want to leave them by themselves. I want to try and get in a position that maybe I can cover them if someone over peaks. And we've got this leopard here, so I was trying to get a quick shot in there. I'm kind of stuck in an awkward situation where I don't want to oversend too much, but I do need to cover these heavies, because they have just gone full in there now. So I need to make sure I at least punish people for getting shots into them like this leopard, putting him onto a 2-shot to us, potentially 1 shot to one of the tanks. He's overpoked again. We get a shot in. We don't manage to finish him off, leave him on 65 hit points. But at least we tried to trade out for our machine, which has just died there now. I'm on a reload. Again, it doesn't really feel like you're out of the game that long now. It's got the reload buff. It's only like 22 seconds or something like that when you get all the food, etc. on it. We've got this Valor. We get 2 shots into him. We're looking for the third. We get the third with damage ammo rack. We do eat 1 in return, but I will take that trade, because that Valor's in a annoying position for, because our E4 and heavy tank, he's got cross shots onto them. So I really want to take this guy out. If I can, to try and relieve the angles, because it's quite a close game. We're 2 tanks down, and I need to win one side, because it doesn't really look like we've particularly won a side. We do manage to get a shot into this fella. We're looking for one in the track wheel. We get one second one in, but we don't pen all our shots, so we actually do. We leave him there on a 1-shot, tracked in place in his ammo rack. I'm waiting for either my reload to finish him off, or ideally, hopefully, someone shuts him down, because we're now 3 tanks down, or we're now 4 tanks down, and yeah, I need this tank to be taken out really, so that I can look to get shots into E4 potentially. Now the RE4 does take out this Valor, but it looks like this AMX 50 is coming around to clip out our E4, so I'm getting ready so I can punish him for for attempting that. We get 2 in, we get the third one in, and we actually managed to shut him down, keeping our E4 alive in the game, which is nice. And now we're trying to get out of the way the enemy E4, and I see our friend E4 is sort of acknowledging that we've helped him out there, which is good, because yeah, I need him as much as he needs me. So I just got to try and keep him in the game as long as I can. Got his E4 approaching on him now, so now I'm going to try and get cross shots on. He's get tracks in place by that back chat. We get 2 in. We don't manage to find, or we do manage to get the third one in. We can't quite finish him off, but fortunately for us, our back chat takes him out. And we sort of won that side, but at the same time, the enemy have now won the other side. So I'm going to pull back and try and get back up on this hill to try and push the enemy back. I don't want them to just overextend on this hill and start shooting us in the rear. So I'm going to try and sort of regroup with my team and see if we can, we'll see what we can do. We're on sort of just shy of 5,000 damage. We've had a decent game. We've only eaten 1 shot as well, so we're still, fairly healthy. But we need to try and get some, punishing shots into these enemy teams. And there we go. His Jag Tiger is just absolutely does not care. He is full suddenness. We penned all of our shots, but leave him on 130 hit points. We're going to try. It's obvious what he's doing, so we're going to try and juke him if we can. We do, and yeah, fortunately we got behind him now, so I'm not concerned. Even though I'm on a reload, I should be able to get out of the way of this guy. But he actually does get taken out by our friendly tank, and now I've got an opportunity to get a clip into this waffle. I'm just, fortunately for me, I managed to catch him just at the wrong time, and we do manage to just clip him out, putting us onto 7,000 damage. But now I'm concerned because this Type 5 is coming in my rear. I do not want to be fighting a Type 5 front on because it's not going to end well. So I'm trying to get out of dodge so he can't get a shot onto me. I wasn't paying attention. I just clipped this T30. This is not good. And annoyingly, I paid a price for that and I eat a shot. Put me on to 700 hit points. So that is kind of annoying. And not only that, I've just loaded 1 shell into the clip, which sometimes happens. I obviously wasn't paying attention that I only had 1 APCR round left. And now that's kind of cost me a 20-second when I really could do without it, to be honest with you, because it's a 2 versus 5. It's not looking good. The only way out I can see is if I take out this Type 5 and then just make an absolute break for it. So we're getting shots in the move, get 2 into his turret. We're making sure we shoot the turret because obviously the spaced armour on the side of the tank, which is not good for the heat shells. Puts us at 8,000 damage. It's a 1 versus 5, but I need to just get out of it and get the distance, see if I can just escape. But annoyingly, it doesn't quite work out for me, and I get clipped coming out, and we don't manage to escape. You manage to escape, I feel like we could have got more damage out of that. That could have potentially got 10k, but we just had to get out of that situation there, and we just didn't make it, which is a shame. Obviously, we lost. So it didn't turn out to be in the second class, but it still was 8,000 damage, 2 kills, and it just shows what the tank can do. So I hope you enjoyed the replay. I've enjoyed, just want to say thank you so much for your support. It's been amazing, and as always, thank you for watching and happy tanking.
Hadouken!